Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Major Sweet Tooth. And I apologize for not making videos recently. I've been on spring break and my schedule has been really tight. So today I just figured I'll make a video for you guys. But today we are making chocolate cupcakes with vanilla frosting. I'm making the cake from scratch and the frosting from scratch. So for the cake ingredients, you will need 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a half teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of baking powder, 2 cups of white sugar, 2 sticks of unsalted softened butter, 1 cup of milk, a half cup of Dutch cocoa powder, a half cup of semisweet melted chocolate chips, a half cup of mayo. And for the frosting, you will need 2 cups of powdered sugar, 3 packages of 8-ounce cream cheese, and 2 sticks of unsalted softened butter. So we're going to start off by measuring and sifting our dry ingredients. So here's the flour, the Dutch cocoa powder. It's important to use the Dutch cocoa powder because it gives it a nice flavor. And the 2 cups of sugar. So we're going to start sifting our dry ingredients into the bowl. So I'm just using it with the spoon because some of it is falling off to the side. So now that we've sifted and measured our dry ingredients, we're going to put that off to the side. And now we're going to focus on our wet ingredients. I'm not a big fan of mayo, but you're not going to taste it, so it's the only time I'm using it. So we're just going to pour it into the bowl here. Now that we measured out our mayo, we're going to add in our unsalted softened butter. It's also to make the cake moist. Okay, so just mix this at low first, and then once it starts to mix together, you can do it at high speed. So again, the mayo is supposed to help make the cake moist and not dry, because no one wants a dry cupcake. You need to have 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk. Now we're just going to mix this again to make sure our eggs are mixed in as well. Okay, so now we are going to melt our chocolate, and that's also going to bring out the chocolate flavor in your cupcakes. So we're going to need a half cup of this. We're just going to melt this, and we're going to add it into this mixture. I melted my chocolate, and we're going to add it in our mayo, butter, egg mixture, whatever you want to call it. We're going to mix this again. So finally we're going to add in our milk. Again, I'm putting in 1 cup of milk to this. We are going to once again mix this, and then we'll start adding in our dry ingredients. We have finished with our wet ingredients. Now we're going to bring back our dry ingredients to start folding it in. I forgot to add in the baking powder and the baking soda, so I'm going to add that in now, and then add in my dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. So, again, this is a half teaspoon of both. So half teaspoon of baking soda and a half teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to stir the baking powder and the baking soda around, and then we'll add in our dry ingredients. We're going to add in a little bit at a time to make sure that you don't get anything on yourself while mixing this. Now, going to fold it in gently. Just going to add in another portion of the dry ingredients to our wet ingredients. So just gently fold. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the rest of my dry ingredients. Don't be like me, who uses a small bowl, because it's kind of spilling on the sides a bit, but it's okay. So just folding this again. I'm going to mix it with the hand mixer now, and I didn't do it before because I didn't want to get any dry ingredients on myself or in the kitchen. now that we have finished our cupcake batter, we're going to put it in the cupcake tray, and we're only going to fill it halfway because you don't want them to start to overflow in the oven. This is very fluffy. Wish you guys could smell it though. It smells good. Now that I filled my cupcake liners, I'm going to put them in the oven for approximately 30 minutes. I preheated the oven at 350, so you can also periodically check these with a toothpick. Put the toothpick in the center and make sure that it comes out clean. That's how you also know that they're done. So these have been in the oven for about 20 minutes, and that's why I told you guys to check them periodically, because you don't want them to burn. So these actually smell great. These smell really good, and I can't wait to try them. So now we're going to put these to the side, and we're going to make the vanilla frosting. So I have 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, and make sure this is softened because it incorporates much better when it's softened. And you want to make sure that the butter is softened as well. You want to make sure that your cupcakes cool before you put on the frosting, because they're just going to become goopy, and then your frosting is going to come right off. I like cream cheese frosting a lot better because it gives the frosting a nice tanginess, and I don't really like buttercream because it's a little bit too sweet for me. So now that we put our cream cheese, we're going to add in our butter. So this is 2 sticks of unsalted softened butter. So we're just going to mix this first, and then we're going to add in our powdered sugar. Okay, we are going to add in our powdered sugar. So remember, this is 2 cups of powdered sugar. The first cup of powdered sugar. So now I'm just gently folding the powdered sugar in, and just want to do this until it's kind of mixed in, and then you can use your hand mixer. Okay. So to get this vanilla flavor, you're going to add vanilla extract. I forgot to mention that in our ingredients, but I'm doing that now. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of the vanilla extract. So, tablespoon. I'm going to mix it with our hand mixer, and I'll try it. I'm going to taste a little bit. Use a little bit more, like a half teaspoon. Okay. Just going to mix that, and I'll try it again. This is better. I'm filling up my piping bag with the frosting, and I use a mason jar to make sure that the piping bag doesn't move all over the place while I'm filling it up. So I don't want to fill it up too much because then it's going to start spilling from the top. So I'm just going to take this out, and I'm going to push it down. And at the same time, you want to twist the top of it to make sure that no frosting comes up. So, and you can also use any piping tip, works fine, but this is the second batch. I let it cool, and this made approximately 2.5 dozen. So I'm going to start piping these too. So now I'm going to start piping these cupcakes. So remember, start from the outside and work your way in. And gently squeeze it. Just saying, you smell really good. And I had one when we were off camera, and it was really moist. See, I told you, the ingredient worked. Okay, so I refilled this piping bag. So my hands are a bit messy, but it's okay, because So again, this is my own recipe. I made this from scratch. Chocolate cupcakes with vanilla frosting. Please comment how you like these and make sure to like and subscribe.